For over a century we've been told stories about dinosaurs. In books, in movies, in classrooms. We've seen them roar on the big screen, drag their tails through the dirt, and tower over a prehistoric world that seemed frozen in time. But here's the truth. Much of what we think we know about these incredible creatures is completely wrong. Today we're pulling apart decades of myths, half-truths, and movie magic to uncover the real story of the dinosaurs, a story far more fascinating than fiction. From the T-Rex's surprising vision to the living dinosaurs still walking, or flying, among us, what you're about to hear will change the way you think about these ancient rulers of the earth forever. So, if you're ready to leave behind everything you thought you knew and step into the real prehistoric world, stick around until the very end, because some of these revelations will blow your mind. And if you love learning the truth about history's greatest creatures, hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who still believes every dinosaur died out 66 million years ago. Myth number 1. Not all dinosaurs went extinct. When we talk about the extinction of the dinosaurs, most people picture a single world-ending moment that wiped them all out. But that's not the whole truth. 66 million years ago, it was only the non-avian dinosaurs, the ones that couldn't fly, that vanished. Their smaller, feathered relatives survived and evolved into the birds we see today. Yes, the sparrow outside your window and the eagle soaring in the sky are living dinosaurs. Crocodiles, on the other hand, despite their ancient look, are not dinosaurs at all. Myth number 2. Dinosaur fossils are extremely rare. The word fossil might make you imagine a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, buried deep underground in some forgotten desert. And while complete skeletons are rare, dinosaur fossils themselves are surprisingly common, if you're in the right place. In locations like the Hell Creek Formation in North America, fossil fragments can be found within minutes if you know what to look for. The real challenge is finding a skeleton that's complete and well-preserved, because after death, most dinosaurs were scavenged or eroded away by nature. Myth number 3. All dinosaurs were huge. Hollywood has conditioned us to think of dinosaurs as towering giants that shook the ground with every step. But some were so small you could hold them in your hands. Take Epidexipteryx, for example, it was just 12 inches long. The reason we find more big dinosaur fossils is due to preservation bias. Large bones survive the fossilization process more easily than small, delicate ones. This means there may have been countless tiny dinosaur species we've never even discovered. Myth number 4. Dinosaurs were slow and clumsy. For decades, dinosaurs were portrayed as sluggish, lumbering beasts. The truth? Many were built for speed. Carnotaurus could run up to 35 miles per hour, faster than Usain Bolt, and weighed as much as a rhino. Compsognathus, a predator the size of a turkey, might have reached 40 miles per hour. These were not slow-moving lizards, they were athletes of their time. Myth number 5. All dinosaurs lived at the same time. One of the biggest misconceptions is imagining all dinosaurs sharing the same world, battling each other like in a prehistoric all-star match. In reality, many species were separated by tens of millions of years. Stegosaurus lived around 150 million years ago, while Tyrannosaurus rex didn't appear until about 66 million years ago. In fact, more time passed between Stegosaurus and T-Rex than between T-Rex and us. Myth number 6. We know what dinosaurs sounded like. Those deep, earth-shaking roars you've heard in movies? Pure fiction. The truth is, we have no recordings, no way to know for certain what most dinosaurs sounded like. The only exception is the Parasaurolophus, a dinosaur with a long hollow crest on its head. Scientists created 3D models to simulate how air might have moved through it, producing a deep, haunting call, almost like an air horn echoing through the ancient landscape. Even then, that's only one sound it could make, not its full voice. For the rest, every roar you've heard is just creative imagination. Myth number 7. T-Rex had useless arms. Yes, Tyrannosaurus rex had famously short arms, about 3 feet long, but useless is the wrong word. They were incredibly powerful, with each arm capable of curling over 400 pounds. Short doesn't mean weak. In fact, these arms were perfect for gripping prey close and holding it still while the T-Rex delivered a bone-crushing bite. Myth number 8. All dinosaurs were scaly and green. For years, we pictured dinosaurs as giant, dull-colored reptiles covered in scales. But fossil evidence has shattered that image. We've found over 50 dinosaur species with feathers, quills, or fuzzy coats, and even discovered fossilized pigments that reveal they had complex patterns and vibrant colors. Picture a velociraptor not as a drab movie monster, but with a coat of feathers shimmering in reds, blacks, or even metallic hues. Myth number 9. Pterosaurs were dinosaurs. Pterosaurs, the iconic flying reptiles often shown alongside dinosaurs, weren't actually dinosaurs at all. They were close relatives belonging to a separate branch of the evolutionary tree. Dinosaurs dominated the land, while pterosaurs ruled the skies in their own right, with wingspans that could reach the size of a small airplane. Myth number 10, herbivores were always peaceful. In popular media, plant-eating dinosaurs are portrayed as gentle giants, quietly grazing while predators do all the fighting. But being an herbivore didn't mean being harmless. Many were heavily armed with horns, spikes, or armored plates, and some could be fiercely aggressive when threatened. If you crossed paths with a protective Triceratops mother or a herd of Stegosaurus, you might quickly learn that plant-eater doesn't mean pushover. Myth number 11, dinosaurs were bad parents. For a long time, scientists believed dinosaurs laid their eggs and walked away, leaving their young to fend for themselves. But fossil evidence tells a very different story. Entire nesting colonies have been discovered, including those of Maiasaura, whose very name means good mother lizard. These fossils show signs of parents protecting their nests and even caring for their hatchlings. Far from being neglectful, some dinosaurs may have been devoted and attentive parents. Myth number 12, dinosaurs were dumb. It's true that some dinosaurs like Stegosaurus had brains shockingly small compared to their massive bodies, about the size of a walnut. But that doesn't mean all dinosaurs were unintelligent. Smaller predators like tridentids and velociraptors had brain-to-body size ratios similar to modern birds, which are capable of complex problem-solving. Fossil evidence of social behavior, hunting strategies, and even nesting suggests that many dinosaurs were smarter than we once thought. Myth number 13, velociraptors and T-Rex could hold their palms down. If you've seen a dinosaur standing with its palms facing the ground, ready to push, you've seen an anatomical mistake. Theropod dinosaurs like Velociraptor and T-Rex couldn't rotate their wrists that way. Their hands faced inward like clapping hands. This position was perfect for grabbing and holding prey, not for pushing or slapping like Hollywood so often shows. Myth number 14, T-Rex was only a scavenger. Some scientists once thought the T-Rex was too slow to hunt and survived by stealing kills from other predators. But its massive bite, strong enough to crush bone, tells a different story. Fossils of animals like Triceratops have been found with healed T-Rex bite marks, proof they survived an attack. That means T-Rex didn't just steal meals, it actively hunted, chasing down prey and delivering lethal bites. Myth number 15, long-necked dinosaurs had nostrils on top of their heads. Old textbooks and toys often showed Brachiosaurus and other long-necked dinosaurs with nostrils high on their skulls, almost between their eyes. But modern studies show that their real nostrils were near the tip of the snout, just like in most animals today. This small detail completely changes how we picture them in their natural environment. Myth number 16, dinosaurs dragged their tails. For decades, dinosaurs were drawn and animated with tails trailing along the ground, leaving marks in the dirt like giant lizards. But no fossilized trackways have ever shown tail drag marks. Instead, dinosaurs held their tails high, using them for balance, especially while running. In predators like Velociraptor, the tail was stiff, acting like a counterweight or a rudder to help them turn quickly at high speeds. Myth number 17, dinosaurs were cold-blooded. Early paleontologists assumed dinosaurs were cold-blooded like modern reptiles, sluggish and dependent on external heat. But studies of their bones have revealed tiny channels, called haversian canals, similar to those in warm-blooded animals like birds and mammals. These suggest that many dinosaurs could maintain a steady body temperature, giving them the energy and endurance to dominate their ecosystems. Myth number 18, Brontosaurus never existed. For over a century, the Brontosaurus was considered a mistake, a misnamed Apatosaurus created during the Bone Wars of the 1800s. In 1903, scientists decided both names described the same animal and dropped Brontosaurus entirely. But in 2015, after studying over 80 skeletons, researchers found enough differences to bring Brontosaurus back as its own species. One of the most famous dinosaurs in history had been resurrected, scientifically speaking. Myth number 19, T-Rex had poor vision. Thanks to one movie line, many believe that a T-Rex couldn't see you if you stood still. In reality, the T-Rex had some of the best eyesight of any land predator, about 13 times sharper than human vision. This predator could spot movement from incredible distances, and even standing still wouldn't save you from its piercing gaze. Myth number 20, mammals were helpless during the dinosaur era. While most mammals during the age of dinosaurs were small, that didn't mean they were harmless. Fossils show that some species, like Repenomamus, were fierce predators in their own right. One specimen was even found with the bones of a baby dinosaur in its stomach. Another fossil captures a mammal mid-attack, gripping a dinosaur by the ribs. Even in a world ruled by giants, some mammals were already fighting back. Myth number 21, T-Rex stood upright like Godzilla. Old museum displays and vintage movies often showed T-Rex standing tall, tail on the ground, almost like a kangaroo. But modern science has revealed that this posture was completely wrong. T-Rex held its spine horizontally with its tail stretched out for balance. This stance made it a more agile and efficient predator, not the slow, upright monster of early depictions. Myth number 22, the asteroid killed dinosaurs overnight. It's tempting to imagine the asteroid impact as an instant death sentence for all dinosaurs. In reality, the extinction event unfolded over decades, even thousands of years. Some smaller species may have survived in isolated pockets before vanishing due to climate shifts, food shortages, and collapsing ecosystems. Myth number 23, Jurassic Park style cloning is possible. The idea of pulling dinosaur DNA from amber-trapped mosquitoes sounds thrilling, but it's pure fiction. DNA breaks down far too quickly. Even in perfect conditions, it's unreadable after just a few million years. Since most dinosaurs went extinct 66 million years ago, cloning them isn't possible. Instead, scientists are exploring the idea of reverse engineering bird DNA, since birds are their living descendants. Myth number 24, Oviraptor was an egg thief. When the first Oviraptor fossil was found on a nest of eggs, scientists assumed it had been caught stealing them. That egg thief label stuck for 75 years. But later discoveries revealed the truth. The eggs likely belonged to the Oviraptor itself. This wasn't a thief, it was a parent who died while guarding its own nest. Myth number 25, dinosaurs grew slowly. Many assumed dinosaurs grew at a steady pace throughout their lives. But bone studies show that some species, including T-Rex, had massive teenage growth spurts, gaining up to 5 pounds a day. In just a few short years, a T-Rex could go from the size of a chicken to the size of a rhino. Myth number 26, Archaeopteryx was the direct ancestor of all birds. Often called the missing link, Archaeopteryx was not the direct ancestor of modern birds. Instead, it was more like a distant cousin on the bird family tree. Evolution is messy, more like a branching bush than a straight ladder, and Archaeopteryx was just one twig among many that led to today's birds. Myth number 27, sauropods lived in water. Early depictions showed long-necked giants like Brachiosaurus wading in swamps, supposedly too heavy to support their own weight on land. But fossil trackways prove they walked confidently on solid ground. Their pillar-like legs, much like an elephant's, were perfectly adapted to support their enormous frames. Myth number 28, Stegosaurus had a second brain. For years, scientists thought the Stegosaurus had a backup brain in its hips to help control its massive body. In reality, the cavity in its hips held a glycogen body, an energy storage organ also found in modern birds. Stegosaurus didn't need a second brain, it just had a small first one. Myth number 29, T-Rex had feathers. Some of T-Rex's smaller ancestors were feathered, leading to speculation that the king itself might have been covered in plumage. But fossilized skin impressions show scaly skin, with no direct evidence of feathers, though it's possible babies had some fuzz. At its massive size, a fully feathered coat likely wasn't necessary for warmth. Myth number 30, dinosaurs were evolutionary failures. Some people assume dinosaurs were inferior because they're gone and mammals now dominate. But dinosaurs thrived for over 150 million years, far longer than mammals have existed so far. Their reign only ended because of a catastrophic event, not because they couldn't survive. Myth number 31, dinosaurs were big because of high oxygen levels. It's often said that dinosaurs grew massive because the air back then was rich in oxygen. In reality, oxygen levels during much of the Mesozoic were actually lower than today. Dinosaurs achieved their enormous size thanks to incredibly efficient respiratory systems, with air sacs and hollow bones similar to modern birds, allowing them to breathe easily even in thinner air. Myth number 32, T-Rex was the best predator of all time. Tyrannosaurus rex was a formidable hunter, but not the ultimate predator in every category. Spinosaurids specialized in hunting fish and thriving in aquatic environments. Carnotaurus was faster. Carcharodontosaurs could take down massive sauropods. Each was perfectly adapted to its own niche. T-Rex's power lay in its bone-crushing bite and dominance on land, not in being the best overall. Myth number 33, dinosaurs hunted in packs like wolves. Movies often show raptors coordinating attacks with military precision. But fossil evidence for true pack hunting is weak. Finding multiple predators together could mean they died at the same site while feeding, or were swept there by floods. While a few scientists think T-Rex might have hunted in pairs, the idea of coordinated dinosaur packs remains speculation, not proven fact. For decades, our picture of dinosaurs has been shaped by outdated science, pop culture, and a dash of imagination. But the truth is far stranger and far more fascinating than the myths. Dinosaurs weren't just giant, scaly beasts. They were fast, colorful, intelligent, and in some ways, still alive today. So now that you know the facts, which of these myths surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more mind-blowing truths about the prehistoric world, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with someone who still believes T-Rex couldn't see you if you stayed still. The past isn't just history, it's a story still waiting to be told.